Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 28 of the Wi-Fi Chats. Usual suspects, Gabby, Alec, myself. We have our guest, Cosmina, is still with us. We lost Brett along the way. Today, it should be at the time of you listening and watching this, should be January 7th, 2025. We're in the new year. We've made it. We survived the holidays. We've gone through all of it. Most Christmas decorations and holiday stuff is packed up and put away. Now's the time to take a look. We've been scaffolding upon this. And last episode, we talked about resolutions and what they mean or don't mean. And here we are. It's January 7th. The new year is facing you. It's time to take a look at what has gone on for you in the past year. What voids do you have? What gaps are there? What is there that didn't get done that you really want to get done? And most honestly, we're here to talk about why the hell or why the fuck didn't you really do what you said you wanted to do? Honestly, what is the real truth behind why you're not getting what you say you want for your life? Who would like to start?
I will jump in and say from the outset that what we are experiencing is the results of those things that we did not pay attention to. So if I have an unfulfilled resolution from last year, it's for one of a couple of reasons. Either I really didn't have the passion for that project that I thought I had, in which case I don't want to commit to another fruitless project this year. So I want to check in with myself. Was I really passionate about that? Is it something that is motivating me to get out of bed every day for the next month, 2 months, whatever? And if it is something that is of burning importance to me, and I'm being serious for the moment, then why did I allow myself to become distracted by the other things that took control in the year? Because the buck stops with me. If I've got a void and I'm experiencing life in a way that is not what I want from it, it's because of the things that I did not pay adequate attention to in 2024. So I've got to ask myself some searching questions.
Yeah, you do. We all do. That's the point of this episode here. This is let's get real and examine why are we not getting the results that we want? Or do we even really want what we say we do?
Yeah, sometimes it's sitting back as well, because we talked in an earlier episode, I can't remember which one it was, about change happening all the time. And sometimes I feel that I said, oh, I haven't done that. But then if I examine it, I actually realize that during the year, things have shifted and things have changed. So what I thought was really important now isn't important anymore. So one point for me is also to stay flexible and keep this awareness going. What's happening during the year? Where am I going? Is it still important? Am I holding on and beating myself up over something which I actually have to admit now maybe was the wrong decision in February in a way, because it's not important anymore, and just let it go. So sometimes for me personally, I think something is a void, but if I really think about it, I actually realized I really don't want to do it. It was a nice idea back in January, but it's not relevant anymore. And to have the courage to also let it go, I think is really important. Now, for the voids, I still would like to have in my life, but I just haven't addressed it. It's usually a comfort zone, to be quite honest. Usually it's something out of my comfort zone. I'm maybe a little bit reluctant to go there, or sometimes it's just too much work, right? It really means I need to put more time and effort in it, and it's hard work, and it feels just too overwhelming. And then I need to sit down and think, okay, I have to split up that in smaller steps to attack it. And sometimes it's just down to getting a proper plan and a proper strategy. The voids I have, which are real voids, and I would like to have it in my life. It's usually down that I don't have the right strategy to achieve it. And I'm all over the place with that. So it's about getting the strategy in place.
I also agree with what you said, Gabi, because for me, as well, like whenever I identify voids and things that maybe I committed at one point of doing, but then I failed to actually continue like doing them or accomplish them, would be for a couple of reasons. One, like my real motivation, like why I wanted to do that was off. Like it was not, maybe I didn't even want to do that really. So it's interesting to analyze like what is underneath like our wants and desires as well. And secondly, having a strategy on how to achieve it. And thirdly, like indeed life happens and our goalpost can change as well, like as we shift and move like through life and events, situations. So indeed being flexible, and probably also like with time, like looking back, we can adapt and shift to that original goal that we initially set. So this has been like the case for me so far.
I'm glad that you both made those points about flexibility, because while you were speaking, I was going back to January 24 and meeting up for an event up in Scotland. And I set two goals for the year, and they were around relationships and community. Did I achieve in both those areas? Yes, 100%. Does it look exactly like I thought it would at the time I committed to those? No. But the important part is it doesn't look like a failure. I have made absolute inroads into what I want to see for that. And I think they will be mainstays also of this year. You know, I'm not going to want the ground I created to falter in the relationships that I built and strengthened. And I don't want to see any of the elements of community that I chose to tackle alter either. But there's still possibility to get closer to the ideas that I had. And there's also that opportunity to look and see why a certain thing didn't work in one of those two areas and to readdress that, which doesn't also stop me from thinking these can be ongoing things in the background and working out for this period what maybe the two irresistible forces are. And by that, I mean the things that mean everything else has to fall by the wayside.
It's a really important point, because even if we have a goal, say where we want to be next year, because stuff happens, right? I think it's really important as well to take every 2 to 3 months stock and say, hold on, am I still on aim? Do I get distracted here now because of other things? And to just restock I do it every 2 months. I sit down, look at it, and I call it, I regroup myself. And I just make sure I'm still where I want to go, and I didn't get distracted in all kind of directions. And it also helps me then to say no to certain things if something new comes up. because I'm aware of, okay, I'm getting distracted now. This is not helping. While if I don't do that, I just go suddenly in all directions and I say yes to things who don't help, and I get all over the place. So since I do that, I find I'm have far less voids because I'm just more focused.
Yeah, this is why I like the idea of like going according to nature, right? Because it's like chunks of months at a time. So it's like, this is my goal for, the winter months. By the end of that, you reevaluate. Did I reach it? Do I still want to continue with it? Or, where am I with that? When Alec was talking, when all of you were talking about being flexible, it's like black or white thinking, right? Like, just because it doesn't look exactly the way in my mind I said it was going to look doesn't mean I didn't succeed. And maybe I got as far as I needed to go, and now I can shift again based on what I've already accomplished and what it looks like for me. But as I'm sitting here, all of this, like identifying the voids and the gaps and like pinpointing what it is that you want for your life, is for me, I'm looking at my life like a business, right? My life is a business, and I am the CEO of my business. I'm the CEO. I'm in charge. I decide what's happening, who I'm employing, what's going on, right? Any good business, in order to succeed, has systems and processes and procedures in place. And that is this thinking that I am personally taking forward in the new year, with the voids that I'm identifying in my own life, and putting systems and processes and procedures in place so that I can fill those voids in a way that I see progress, and I'm kept on track. I don't think, for me personally, I cannot achieve anything without a system in place. I need to know how this is going to happen, and this is how it's going to happen for me to do it. So that is the mentality I'm adopting in this new year, although we're not, in January 7th, I am putting systems and processes and procedures in place around the things that I want to achieve in my life in a nature-based sort of way, like monthly chunks at a time, to accomplish the bigger goal, so that by the end of next year, I can look back on all of these 12 months and say, look at all of what I've done here, and how have I changed now? What does my growth look like? Really getting clear on the why I'm doing it, and being in control of it.
I feel another element is also self-sabotage. Like, for example, we can have the right systems in place and a clear vision and all, but if those system doesn't involve also like inner work, like those parts of ourselves that will put like rods in the wheels, like not to go forward or to change certain patterns like of our life, we will not make progress. And I think this is also like where many people fail, like in terms of like setting goals and not achieving them, not because maybe they didn't really have like a commitment to that, as maybe because they didn't have like an awareness of that inner resistance to change or to even achieve what they say they want to achieve, because we all want like the best things for ourselves. But how come like sometimes we just, trip and fall by our own feet? How does that happen? So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up for discussion as well.
That's a really good point, Cosmina. And for me, it's this, I wouldn't call it exactly laziness, but definitely this comfort zone. When I have to really push myself when the going gets hard, because it's just easier to sit back and like, this is getting really hard, so much work, really. Do I need to get up at 7 to do this now? I would like to stay in bed until 9. And it's, you know what I mean? It's this this pushing myself at time when the going gets hard, because sometimes it's needed.
So we are going to start with our closing comments here. So Alec has challenged us. You guys don't see it out there, but we know what the challenge is, and I'm just going to verbalize it, that we're going to go around and answer the question of what this topic was all about. Why the fuck didn't you do what you said you were going to do last year? Honestly, in a form of an I statement, which we lovingly call a truth blast in our little circle of friends. So, Alec, you started the challenge, so why don't you go first, my friend?
I didn't do the things that I said I would do because I allowed my focus to be distracted. And when I set those two things, so I mentioned community and relationships, I was supposed to exclude everything else, and I didn't. So the reason I am experiencing a void in relationships and community is because I did not fully commit myself to the exclusion of everything else in tackling the projects that I set myself.
Well done. Not easy, but well done. Thank you for sharing. I'll go next. The reason why I didn't do what I said I was going to do, honestly, is nothing short of I did not value and love myself enough to make it a priority to take care of myself and allow myself to live a stress-free life. Like, I just did not prioritize myself and think myself worthy of that life. That's truth, and that sucks, but the truth must be told in order to do something about it. So
I mentioned mine already. The one void I have from last year was building an app, and I bought the app, the technology, and it's not built because it was simple, too much work, and I did other stuff because I didn't want to face the work. Simple as that.
I love truth statements. Aren't they so much fun? I'm going to go eat ice cream after this because I feel like I might need to. I'm kidding. Not really. Go on, Cosmina, if you have a truth blast you'd like to share.
For me, the reasons that I didn't do what I committed to doing last year, and even now, like I'm struggling with, is because not sure how to put it, but I would say that there is an old pattern where I tend like not to prioritize myself and not, yeah, as you said, like not valuing myself enough to actually implement it. And also there is this enticement of the comfort zone. So I would say laziness, let's say, call it as it is, laziness. And yeah, I think a lack of self-prioritization.
Thank you.
Phew.
So now that we've all identified these things in a very real, sometimes not fun way, what the question becomes for us and for our viewers out there, if they engage in their own little getting real with themselves so that they can get the progress they want, what do we do with this now? What do we do with this information? This is a choice. Happy January 7th.
Happy January 7th.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you on the next one. Bye.